Hello guys, welcome back. This is Ren. We are going to be going over the steps to get started on grinding your account up so that you can unlock the summoner spells, get blue essence, and get out of playing bots. We're going to start by talking about this get started button on the journey that we talked about last time. And you hit get started here. You can get a new player pack if you want to spend money. This is a good deal if you want to spend money. If you don't want to spend money, don't do it. You've got Wukong, Echo, Jinx, Morgana, and Lee Sin here. All of these are super fun champions for you to play. They're all really good for you to grow on as well. They all have a pretty high skill cap. Some of them have lower skill floors, but all of them will scale very well into your experience. Then you have lane specific packs that you can buy as well if you'd like. They come with experience boosters and something else there that I don't know. And then you have, again, your ADC pack, your support pack, your jungle pack, and your, you don't get a mid pack, what? Oh, there was the mid lane pack, I just skipped it. But that's not really what we're going to talk about. Just understand, if you're going to spend money in this game, these are great resources. They are worth doing. The awakening missions, which we'll view in a minute, we'll go over. You have your level up rewards here, which is going to be the next thing that we talk about. And then you have your daily player rewards, which we'll get onto after that. So level up rewards, if we come to view it, every level you get something. Level 1, you got your ghost in your heal. Level 2, you got to pick your champion. These champions will be your first champion. It will not be a shard. You should pick whichever champion you liked most during the first tutorial. That's why we didn't cover the first tutorials. I want you to experience those champions. Alright, at level 3, you gain access to PvP. I don't recommend going into it right away, but remember, for those of you that were in stream, I do recommend playing ARAMs at least once a day. It helps with your team fighting. Level 4, you're going to get Exhaust and Barrier. Exhaust is really good. It's worth doing. You get blue essence for every level up to 30, by the way. Level 5, you get some blue essence and a emote. Level 6, you're going to get Mark, which is great for ARAM. Any engaged champion you get in ARAM, you're going to want to use this. It is only available in ARAM. Level 7, you get your bread and butter. You're going to get Flash, which again is your probably the most used summoner spell in the game. You're going to get Teleport, which is good for a lot of different champions across a lot of different lanes. Level 8, you get a ward and some more blue essence. Level 9, you get Ignite and Smite. Once you hit level 9, you can start jungling. We will go over jungling in depth at some point, but we won't be doing so yet. And then at level 10, you're going to get access to Draft, which is my preferred way of playing this game, and you get access to a rune page. Now, these rune pages aren't anywhere near as important as they used to be. It used to be you couldn't change a rune page before, like once you got into Champ Select, you could not change a rune page. So having all of them unlocked was super important so that you had them set up for whatever lane you were going to go into. Luckily, Riot has changed that, so these rune pages don't matter at all anymore. You can just change them in the lobby if you want. If you do decide to one trick, having more rune pages can be more useful. Okay, so those are your first 10 levels. That's what you can expect to get. For the daily play rewards, we have a couple of things to talk about. So every day you're going to get a shard. I will be picking the most expensive champion for each one because I plan on most likely selling the shards and buying different champions. But you have to remember as well, if you hit level 20 before you've collected all of these, once you hit level 20, whatever you don't collect, you will not be able to collect anymore. So make sure you space it out a little bit for those first 7 days. Don't play until level 20 on day 1, because then you're going to be missing out on a ton of free resources, okay? The next thing that we're going to talk about, and the last thing for this journey page, is the awakening missions. You're going to get 8 of them. This first one here, it should be this top one right here, which has you casting your ultimate skill 20 times or cast your champion skills 30 times, okay? That'll give you essence and XP. You also get some as a new player that are going to be like play a match made game. If I play a match made game, which we'll be doing later, I'm going to get brand for free. You can find all of your missions here on the HUD with the scroll. You can find your chat logs here with chat bubble. You can join voice if this is how you prefer to vocally talk to your pre-made party from here. I use Discord. You can report bugs with this button right here. And then up here you have your settings. You can go around and change your settings as you like. I already spent the last 30 minutes figuring out where my settings were and getting them done. And then obviously exit the client, get help, minimize the client. Here's where you can see your party. Here's how you add friends. It's this button right here. You can create folders for your friends. You can further delve into options and you can search for specific friends. Once we're done with that, we're going to quickly hop back over to this website. This is different from the other one, which I still have up, which was a guide on what Blue Essence is, how to get it, all that kind of stuff. I only showed you the cost because I think that this is good for you to know, the cost of the champions. But here over here on the actual League of Legends frequently asked questions page, they go over Blue Essence, XP, all that kind of stuff. They're going to go over what RP is, what Blue Essence is, and what XP is. Riot points can only be obtained from purchasing them. Once again, this is the currency that they make money off of in the game. You do not need this for anything if you do not want to spend money. Blue Essence is how you're going to buy all of your champions. Okay, it can be earned from leveling, champion mastery, honor, or other sources. It can be used for champions, loot, or crafting them, or for purchasing them. You can also use it for champion mastery when you get to that point, but we're not going to go over that quite yet. XP is how you level up. That hasn't changed. The only difference here is that up to level 10, it gives you a bunch of stuff. Past level 10, and I'll show you a chart for it later, you get mostly Blue Essence and some champion shards. We'll go over what to do with those champion shards and the capsules later. The XP system for normal games and ranked is interesting. On average, a 30-minute win will earn you about 204 experience. A 30-minute loss will be about 167 XP. That does not mean you should try and drag out your bot games to 30 minutes, okay? It's not worth it. You can get multiple games in at that time and get just as many, if not more, Blue Essence and XP points, okay? Custom games obviously don't give you anything, just like Dead by Daylight or other games. We're going to talk about co-op versus AI real quick. So, you're going to get a percentage base of the XP you would get from a normal game in co-op versus AI. From level 1 to 9, you get 100% of the XP. Past that, you will get less and less. From 10 to 19, it's only 90. From 20 to 29, it is 80. And then it gets capped at 180 minutes, you get 65%. And then level 30, you get 75 and 55 after 180 minutes. Keep that in mind as you're leveling up. There will be a point where bots will just not be as worthwhile for you for XP as regular games. That doesn't mean you shouldn't play bots. If you still feel like you don't understand the game, if you don't understand your champion or your role, or you just want to practice more, bots will work perfectly fine. Daily missions. So here's the important part for this. First win of the day. You can only get it past level 15, but it'll give you 400 extra XP and 50 Blue Essence every time you win one game a day in a match-made game. So once you get to level 15, even if you're not playing normals yet, I would recommend hopping into an ARAM, playing kind of safe, following your team, because generally they'll have a better understanding of what they're doing than you if you're watching this video, and try and squeeze out a win of the day in like 2 or 3 games so that you can get that extra bonus. XP boost, we're going to talk about these. These are for spending money. You can get 2 different types, the day-based one and the per win based one. You will get more if you're winning off of the win based one. The day one will double the XP you earn from a specific game, but the per win one will add an extra 210 XP per game. Okay, so for example, if you earned 150 XP, it would give you an extra 150 XP for the day one, as opposed to the flat amount of 210 per game. If you plan on grinding a lot, the day one is probably better because you will find that you're just going to lose matches. If you just want this boost to give you the most bang for your buck, I'd go for the per. Alright, your leveling rewards. So we kind of talked about this already. So as far as what you're going to get your options on day 1 of Tristana, Caitlyn, or Ezreal. I'm going to be taking Ezreal because he costs the most. Day 2, you're going to get Illaoi, Riven, or Garen. I'm going to be taking Illaoi because she costs the most. Day 3, Seraphine, Morgana, Ziggs. I'll be taking Seraphine because she costs the most. For the control champions, you get Sona, Thresh, or Nami. I haven't decided. I may pick Nami, I may pick Thresh. Those are both champions that I very much enjoy playing. I believe Thresh is the more expensive one, but if I'm going to be playing support, those are 2 of the champions that I'll be playing. And then for Assassin, you have Echo, Fizz, and Talon. I'll be picking Echo because he costs the most. After that, 7th day, you get 500 Orange Essence and a skin for Misfortune. For your levels, this is what it looks like. You'll have a breakdown of level 1 through 30 that will show you what happens every time you level up, all the way up until you hit level 30. At level 30, you're going to get a Glorious Champion capsule, which will have 2,120 Blue Essence worth of shards in there. You can either turn them into a champion at a discounted price, I believe, question mark, or you can get rid of them, get the blue essence, and spend it elsewhere. Past level 30, every level you get a champion capsule. Every 10 levels you get a glorious champion capsule, which will be worth the 2,120. And then from there, every 10 levels to 15 levels, you get emotes as well as other stuff, okay? You'll still be getting blue essence every time you level up. It's still worth leveling up. And that just kind of repeats up until 500 to 600, or past 600. From 500 to 600, all loops. You also get mythic essence, which can be used in a shop. We'll go over that at another time, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna hop into a game. I've got Danny and I've got Jared here, and they're gonna be helping me out with these bots games. We're gonna start with intro because I need to explain to you some things that are specific to intro bots. There are a lot of people that will just AFK grind accounts in intro bots. That's one of the reasons the XP penalty is there. That means that these games are not going to replicate the feeling of a normal game of League. They're going to be all over the place. The bots on the enemy team are going to be really bad. The bots on our team are going to be really bad. It's going to be a party. Another thing that won't replicate your normal games past a specific point is you will have 2 people in the top lane instead of 1 top and 1 jungle. Bots will always do that. Once you get into normal games, a lot of the times, there's 2 reasons that could happen. Firstly, there are a lot of people that are starting new accounts that don't have smite yet, or there's people that don't know how to jungle. There are times where League is getting those influxes of new players and they end up not knowing what they're doing yet. So there are going to be games up until you hit probably level 20, 25 that you're going to notice you're going to have 2 people top. Okay, don't worry about it for now. But we're about to hop in. Are you guys both here?
I am here. Hello.
Hello, welcome. All right, so we're going to start off with this intro bot game. To start off, I'm going to just go wherever I can that there's not a friendly bot because they annoy the crap out of me. So we already know that this Draven Instalock most likely is a bot. I don't want to report random person. So you see these champions here with a lock that is unlocked. Those are what we call free rotation champions. I am going to get greedy here and play a champion that I play very frequently, and that's Deanna. One of the things you're going to notice, firstly I'm going to move this, is you don't have access to basically anything here. I don't have access to a rune page, which I normally would. I have very few summoner spells. I've got wars and I've got emotes, but those don't really matter at the end of the day. But one of the things that you're going to have to juggle in champ select, and I don't recommend locking in until you've got it figured out if you're in blind picked, is your rune page, right? We'll go over how to build a rune page and some ideas for that later. I will be, once we move out of bot games, I'll be talking about some of the resources that I use to not have to deal with doing my rune pages for champions I don't play consistently. Can I build a rune page? Yes. Do I want to do it every time? No.
Plus you're also limited to how many rune pages you can run at one time, so as you continue to play the game, you'll find having one saved page doesn't really fit all situations anymore.
While you're in the loading screen, waiting for people's slow-ass computers, there's 3 tabs up here. You can show gameplay info, which is the champion, their main rune, their secondary tree, and their summoner spells, as well as their name. You can see mastery info, which no one should have any mastery info in here. And you can see their challenges, is this new thing that's come out. So I'm going to run straight to mid and hope that none of these bots follow me. If they do, I'm going to go find a lane that doesn't have a lot of people, and we're going to go from there. But we have to remember that intro bots is not like every other bot. So we know for a fact this Draven that just healed and ghosted, or sorry, healed and flashed and was paused is a bot. So I'm not going to stick around with him. I'm going to come to the bot lane and hope that misfortune doesn't come with me. There are a few things that we can figure out here. If you click on a champion, ally or friendly, you get this stat bar. You have your attack damage and ability power, armor, magic resist, attack speed, ability haste, which is cooldown, critical strike chance, and movement speed all show up. If you press Control and C, you'll notice the same thing has popped up under my bar. I can press it again to get to my rune page, which will describe what my runes are. I didn't get to pick these runes. And then once you have Eternals, if you decide to get them or you get them randomly, you can also go through there. On the left here, I have all the champions here so I can click on them. I normally have them right here, but I've decided to play around with it here and see how I like it. This is the minion himself, Jared, here to help with this lane. And we're going to talk about a few things here. We're going to talk about the way that you get ahead in League, which is generally to CS properly, and how to build a CS lead, as well as how you should play the first couple of minutes of your laning phase. Right now, it's not going to be... I fucked that up. It's not going to be super relevant because these bots aren't even going to show up until we're level 3. But it's good for you to practice getting your CS early so that you can be ready when you do actually play in a lane. So this first game that we're playing in intro bots, it's not going to be contested at all. I should be looking to get as close to every single CS in this wave as possible. I've missed 2 so far. So your main objective in laning phase is to create a lead through your CSing, which will give you money. CSing is what we call farming the creeps here. Trading with your opponent, which will show when they show up. It will be super easy because they're going to be level 1 and we'll be level 3. And creating tempo advantages. You want to get these platings, these bars here show you platings. Platings are worth gold and increase the tower's defenses. As well as you can help your jungler, when you get into real games, control the side of the jungle that you are assisting in. So you notice these guys are just kind of running at me at level 1. That's inting as crap. I don't have a big wave stacked up against me, so I can kind of just afford to run at them and kill them. Right? These bots are not going to be a threat at all. If you're doing intro bots, you really just want to kind of focus on your macro. You want to focus on your CSing. You want to focus on making sure that you are able to hit as many CS as possible. Make sure that you're working on your back timings and stuff like that. I'm not going to back a lot right here because I want to get through this game. But it's pretty important for you, if you have a gold lead that you haven't spent, you don't have a lead. So like right now, this 1800 gold that I have in my pocket, it doesn't even matter. All of this damage isn't even there. I could dive him. I shouldn't, but I could. He may overstep here. Yep, he does, so he dies. And we're really just looking to pressure. So you'll notice that the Nunu that was in the lane with me isn't here anymore. What he's showcasing right now is roaming. So a lot of the times, supports can create impact from this bot lane that doesn't have to be... Damn, I missed both. Nicely done. Thanks for the heal. That doesn't have to be in your lane. So a good support can and will generally roam. The main objective of this game, as we've talked about, is to get your turret, get the next turret, get the inhib turret, get the inhib, make sure I'm not going to feed real quick, and then your main goal, your end state, is to destroy the enemy nexus, okay? Alright, so I'm going to back here because I don't have any mana. I could stay. I could just push through this game, but we can talk about a couple of things. So the champion I'm playing right now is an assassin type champion. She does a lot of auto attack damage as well as ability damage. So her passive, she gains 23% based on level attack speed. If you see those 2 arrows there, that every time means based on levels. Increased to 70% for 3 seconds after she uses an ability, meaning that she can attack really fast. Every 3rd attack cleaves nearby enemies for an additional 139 magic damage that's based on both my level and my AP. If I hold shift, it'll tell me the exact algorithm, okay? Her Q, Crescent Strike, which is the projectile that I just launched, is her main source of damage early on. Also marks the target, meaning that I can, well, I'll show you when it's back up here in 3 seconds. But it also means that I can use my E to travel to them without it going on cooldown. Every time that you E to a marked target, it refreshes the cooldown of your ability. My ult, which is that pull, displaces enemies, and then per each enemy that is in my ult will increase the damage that it deals. My E, the rush that I did, is literally just a dash. It does damage, and if the target was marked, it refreshes. And my W is a shield that does damage. For each, so it does a base shield, and then for each bubble that pops, there we go, that's what I'm trying to say, it increases the shield. Once all 3 have popped, it gives me a new shield entirely. And this right here that we're doing is a dragon. Dragons have multiple different variations nowadays. The one that we just got is the Windrake. It gives me out of combat move speed and slow resistance instead of ultimate CDR like it used to. We're also going to talk about our buffs here. So this is blue buff. Blue buff is going to give me a buff for a short amount of time that will give me cooldown reduction as well as mana regeneration, which we can see right here. It's going to give me 10 ability haste and greatly increased mana regeneration. I don't know what the difference is. It was probably like 5 additional mana per second. MP5 is what we call it. I missed because I'm bad. And we're going to show you how dangerous this ult is. Like, Deanna's ult is a ton of damage if you hit more than one person in it. So some of the side objectives that can help you win a game are those dragons. And on the top side of the map over here, we have Rift Herald and Baron Nashor. So before 20 minutes, you have Rift Herald. Rift Herald can spawn twice, and it will be able to be dropped to use a charge on the turret, which will do massive damage to the turret. Do you really have to attack me while I'm doing this? Come on.
Son of a bitch!
Bop, bop.
Oh no!
Alright, there we go. Baron Nashor is going to be the hardest objective for you to take in the game, and will give your entire team, whoever's alive, will get a buff that will let their minions push harder, and I believe it gives you some ability power and attack damage as well. Your dragons, you can get up to 4 of them. They stack. You will get 2 random ones at the start of the match, and then you'll get what will be the soul dragon. Once you've seen a dragon, up until the 3rd dragon spawns, you will not see that dragon again. So we're not going to see the cloud dragon again. We're not going to see the mountain drake again. The 3rd one will be the dragon that you get for the rest of the game. You can get it up to an additional 5 times if you grab the first 2 dragons and then don't do anything with that. Wow. After someone has gotten the soul, which I love bots, which drastically increases damage that you do or the resistances you have based on whatever soul it is, you will be able to get the Elder Drake. The Elder Drake will give you a massive combat boost, as well as it will give you an execute. Kill this guy real quick. Wow. That execute at a specific percentile health will spawn the head of the Elder Dragon and will execute whatever enemy is that low. We're going to start doing this Rift Herald right here. And this is the Rift Herald I was talking about that you can use on turrets. We're going to use it basically immediately. Thanks, Jared. On this mid turret. The buff I took up here is the red buff, and it gives you health regeneration, and it gives me a slow on my auto attacks. This is the Rift Herald. It takes a second to channel. And once you have the Rift Herald, you cannot use your... There we go. You cannot use your wards until you have dropped it. And it can get multiple charges off and does massive damage. All that damage that happened right there, that was the Rift Herald hitting it. We will go over guides for builds at some point. That may be a thing that you just want to ask in the comments and I can go over it. But you want to be focusing on these timers so that you can be at the right spot, especially if you do start jungling. It's important to know where and when you need to be, right? Dragon is probably one of the most important objectives in the game aside from getting the Nexus itself. Your buffs, the red buff and blue buff, go to you until you feel comfortable giving them away. It depends by game, right? Like in this game, my ADC is 20-1. If I was jungling, Danny would have this red buff, right? If I'm the one hard carrying and the ADC's feeding their ass off, then I get the red buff, and I don't care if they whine about it. Blue buff.
I'll complain.
Blue buff will typically go to... Yeah, you thought. Blue buff will typically go to the mid laner once the jungler again feels comfortable, unless the mid laner is an energy-based champion. Then a lot of times people won't give it. I will specifically if it's a Zed or an Akali, that is a lot of extra damage that can come out from those champions once they've gotten a blue buff, because they can get more rotations of spells. But other than that, this is the primary objective of the game. It will never be this clean, it will never be this quick, because you will have people on the enemy team that you actually do have to fight. So what we're going to do in the next game, yes, you ghost to victory, go get your pentakill. What we're going to do in the next game is we're going to go get into an intermediate bot game, which is the hardest bot game you can get into. And we are going to help Jared out there a little bit. We're going to get we're going to get in with some trading advice and how you should handle early laning. This is basically two things. We showed you this so that you could see what intro bots look like, because it doesn't look like any other game mode in League, to include the rest of the bot games. And we wanted to show you how you generally work around your main objective. But yeah, that's going to be it for this part of the video. We'll be back with the intermediate bot after this. Alright guys, so we're going to talk about the end screen here. So you can start by honoring a teammate. It used to be you could honor literally anyone in the game, and you could honor everyone in the game. Now you can only honor one person, so I'm going to honor my support because they saved me. They stopped me from dying. They were great. And you'll notice I've leveled up, meaning I unlock new things. If you complete a mission, you will get a notification that those missions have been completed. Again, I'm going to be picking the champion that is worth the most here and grab Ezreal. You can grab whatever you want, it doesn't matter. I just want to get rid of Ezreal if it is a shard, so that I can get a different champion, and if it's not a shard, they may have changed it, then now I own Ezreal, who's perfectly fine, right?
I'm fairly sure they are shards.
They should be, like this brand one right here. Oh wow, that shouldn't have counted, but okay. So I got a bunch of stuff there, and I'm already over halfway through level 4. Remember, we said you do not want to be level 20 before you've hit day 7, okay? You need to make sure you're getting all of those rewards. But here's what the end screen looks like originally. We've got these challenges here that have been added. It'll show you progression of those. It'll show you who's honored who. You'll see any experience gains that you've gotten. So for example, base XP, I got 109 XP for just finishing a game. So a 30-minute win would have given me a 204, right? A 15-minute win gave me 109. So it is not worth dragging a game out instead of just getting into a new one, okay? You can also click here to see the scoreboard, or if you start from here, you can hit continue and it'll show you the scoreboard. It'll show you everyone's KDA. It'll show you their items, summoner spells, and runes, as well as their trinkets. You can report, add friends, or invite to party from here as well. And it will show you stats such as damage, defense, and some other random stuff. And gold income CS, which is good. So we'll notice that I hit an 8.4 CS per minute, which is not terrible, but nowhere near good enough. I should be aiming for 10 without any interruptions, right? 8.4 would be good in a normal game. And vision score, which my vision score was terrible, but better than the bots, so that's good. Here you'll see the play again button, your party, which you can hover over and see more stats on, and you can leave the queue with the X button. So we're going to join back up, and we're going to hit this button and swap over to intermediate bots. We're going to play the most difficult bots that you can play aside from Doom bots if they ever bring that back. You'll notice I have an alert over here saying that I got something. I got a new icon, which I acquired when I started playing the game, and I now have 750 blue essence. So I'm going to follow the train of what we did in the first video real quick, and I'm going to come over to champions. I'm going to sort by blue essence up, and I'm just going to grab a champion. And I'm going to make sure that I get all of these champions before I do anything else, because you can get enough in just like 1 or 2 days playing this game to get all of the 450 champions, okay? But we're going to start this intermediate bots, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth over how to actually create a lane advantage. We should expect to see real people in this game and not bots on our enemy team, or on our team. So I'm going to put mid. If you ever play blind pick, you should just probably have a copy paste of whatever role you want, because whoever connects the fastest and puts it in they get that lane. So I get mid. I've already played Deanna, so I'm going to play a different champion. I'm going to play Annie, and I'm going to show you exactly... Why does it keep doing this? I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to create a lead in your lane.
Support action incoming.
Did you already buy him?
No.
No.
He's not free to play right now. You can't fool me. It looks like I'm going to be up against a Vlad. That doesn't change my normal build. I'm going to start with Doran's Ring 90% of the time on a mage. There are certain mages that you will start with others. Generally, those are mages without mana requirements, so we should see this Vladimir starting with a Dark Seal. Akshan's adopted? Oh no. So generally, when you are starting your laning phase, you have a bunch of downtime. We have like 40 seconds left until minions get to the lane. So for a mid laner, it's important for you to stand right here in the middle of the lane where you can see both bushes, because if you can see both bushes, you can make sure that no one's coming in for an invade from the side. If you are a top laner, you generally want to stand right here or right here, where you can see people coming down from this area or coming up from this area to enter the jungle. And if you're a jungler, you generally want to stand here or even move up into this area safely and drop a ward somewhere in here so that you can get vision to make sure that you're not getting invaded and potentially see the jungler's path. We'll go over more of how the jungler handles the very start of the game as we move on. Yeah, see, so Vlad started Dark Seal. That's good. And then for ADC and support, it changes a little bit. So right here, he's used his ability. You generally want to trade around abilities, okay? I have the longest auto attack range base kit in the game right now, so I'm really not worried. I can poke him out pretty easily. The difference is Vlad does have a lot of sustain, so I gotta kind of constantly keep pressure on him. I'm actually gonna stun him here just to hopefully make him miss some CS and help create a lead for my minions to push. So what I'm doing right here is creating a slow push by making sure that I'm not gonna get that now, that sucks. By making sure that I only last hit the minions. And then I'm just trading with him. If I had the option, I would bring Ignite here because he has, we're gonna again stun him so that he doesn't get as much CS. He just missed 2 for that, that's cool. But really what I wanna be doing is I wanna be abusing any cooldowns that he has to make sure that I can get in a good trade. On most champions, it is a good idea just to take all of your abilities as you can. So start with a specific ability. I should keep that. And then from there, you can work on... I can actually kill him. Never mind, he flashed and ghosted. I could have killed him there if I had actually played around it, and that's fine. So he's going to go back now, and this is where I start to really get my lead. So you can get a little bit of a lead just by being better at last hitting while trading than your opponent, right? You can get another lead by eliminating their presence in the lane. So in this case, that means making him back because I wasn't able to kill him. But he's still not safe to stay in this lane, which means that I can afford to sit here and gain a lead. I'm going to get a level lead. I'm going to have more gold when I back, so I'll have a higher item spike. Yeah. And then same thing, he's back, so I want to make sure that I'm trading with him. And I want to make sure, so you'll notice he's already at the same health as me. That isn't the like end all be all because he is a Vlad, but it does mean that I will be able to continue to trade well with him.
We're proxy farming.
Ranged minions, man, they're so OP. And you'll notice if I have a stun up, I'm looking to trade with him. I'm going to let him waste that real quick, and I'm going to go in for it now. I'm almost out of mana. In fact, I don't even have a mana for a Q quite yet. I'm going to last hit this, and then I'll have mana. And I'm just going to clear this wave real quick, and then I'm going to go back and buy. And he had to back again. So you'll notice I haven't killed him at all, but I'm a level over him, probably about a level and a fourth. I have over double his CS. So when I come back to lane, I'm going to have way more than he will. There are a few different ways you can handle wave pressure. You've seen me mostly just slow pushing this game so far. Right now, I'm going to try and create a freeze. Freezing is probably the hardest thing to understand how and why to do in this game. But I want to try and freeze him out here so that he can't step up to my wave theoretically. Because I have such a high amount of damage over him right now that I can actually kill him here. Okay, And then I want my bear to fuck off, because my bear can ruin my freeze. And literally, bear fuck off. Thank you. Literally all I want to do, bear already messed up my freeze. Damn. Alright, that's fine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hard push this. We're going to shove it. And shoving it just means doing my best to collect all of the minions I can while making sure that this wave hits the turret as quickly as possible. I'm going to have my bear hit that for me. It's going to tank some of the damage, and then I'm going to go back. So he's not going to miss as much here because of the bear, but if it's a little bit further in the game, if he doesn't have the ability to actually get back to that lane as quickly as possible, he could miss an entire wave there, which is again creating more of a lead for you. So since the last time that I have backed, I've created about a 5 CS lead over him, as well as I got a kill. So now he's got fully upgraded boots, and I've got a lot of damage.
Blitzcrank pulled me into a tower. Now I have a Noxon support.
We're going to be looking to try and create that freeze again, just to showcase it to you. We're actually going to ghost here. He's dead. Alright, so you see how easily I can kill him now just from that lead. Now I just need to try and create this freeze properly, which means I need to kill these minions without them getting into turret. And we're going to leave these alive for now. So to create a freeze, you generally want to have 4 ranged minions more than your minions. You have to be super careful because minion AI is ridiculous and they love to just mess up. So like right here. I also have one too many. And you'll notice right now while I'm trading, I'm making sure that I'm standing away from where... Alright dude, just die. Bear, go over here. Stay over here. Don't mess with my wave. Generally, a lot of the times, if you're able to create enough pressure to make the laner back or die, it's worth just shoving out anyways. You can get platings, so you'll notice that it's perfectly set up for me to grab this plating. That was not intentional, but it's awesome. I'm going to be greedy here and push this wave as well, and just leave that 1 minion there. And now I've created, I'm over triple, almost over triple his CS, as well as I have 2 more kills, right? Alright, so right here I'm going to try and create that freeze again. Step out of the range of that. And we're going to actually shove this part here because I'm about to kill him again. Okay, and he's dead again, which means I want to shove and create pressure. Let's see. Potions are super valuable early on, by the way. Don't forget to use them if you're trading. If you're under half health, you should probably have a potion ticking if you have one. But now we've noticed I will have enough when I back to buy my mythic. I'm going to greed for the plate here, which is a bad idea to do in a real game because if they have a jungler, the jungler could come take advantage of me right now. And then I'm going to step back over to here. And I'm going to go back and buy. And ironically enough, I'm the only person on my team that hasn't died. They're all feeding.
Yeah, I'm a feeder.
So, just like we talked about Deanna, real quick we're going to talk about Annie's abilities. So Pyromania, the passive, after using 4 abilities, which is indicated right here with this purple bar, Annie's next ability that damages will stun for 1.5 seconds scaling off of level. What that means is basically anytime I use an ability, like we're going to right here, they get stunned. Super easy, right? The Q, which is my primary damage source, can also very easily be used to last hit. It goes on a reduced cooldown by 50% if it kills something. So it's just a fireball that does a lot of damage and can be refunded. So like right there, it killed it and it's back up. Right here, it killed it, it's back up. Right here, it kills it, it's back up. The W is a wave that deals fire damage. Yeah, of course I get hit. Man. Alright, do that. Hit Alistar there, that was pretty bad. And the E here is a shield that she can place on anyone, to include herself, a Tibbers, an ally, and it will shield them and increase their movement speed. While the shield is there, anyone who hits it will take damage.
Oh no!
And then the ult is summon Tibbers. We're going to kill that so that we have it. Do this and drop Tibbers. And he's stunned, and we're going to heal up so that we don't die. So what that does is that drops my bear on top of people, dealing massive AoE damage, leaving him around, and he does damage per second around him, as well as he can attack enemies. Tibbers will automatically track to follow, nice, will track to follow whatever you are hitting. And Tibbers does not go on cooldown until, god damn it, Alistar, stop it. Will not go on cooldown until after.
No!
Do I die here? I'm not griefing. Bob. Will not go on cooldown until after he dies, but will have a reduced cooldown, I believe. You can also manually direct Tibbers with your R cast or whatever you've set up for actually maneuvering him. If you click on the push and click E, you will self-cast, by the way, or if you press Alt and press E, you will self-cast as well. We're also going to show you about a couple of different things that I have set up. So this is control player movement. It will show you the players based on 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're in draft picked, you'll go from top down. So 1 will be top laner, 2 will be jungler, 3 will be mid laner if you're not in that role, 3 will be ADC, 4 will be support. I have it set up so that I have F1 through F4 set up, and I don't have myself set up for that camera viewing because I have it set up so that if I press spacebar, no matter where I am, it moves back to me and will highlight my position. So like I said, this is one of the more simple, simple champions you can play. Very good for learning. It's really all macro for Annie on whether or not you should be doing AoE stuns or whether or not you should be doing single target stuns. That's really where all the macro for this comes in. Alright, so that's how you create a lead. We've shown you, there was a very brief instance where we showed you how to freeze. We've shown you slow push, we've shown you fast push. You can also proxy a wave, which we'll go over at a different point. Mid lane's not the lane to try and proxy, as we saw in the first video. Alright, so right here, it's saying that I need to have my verification email. They're telling me it's because my account is valuable and will help protect it from anything being stolen, things like that, yada yada blah blah. I can have it send the email, which will send to my email address, and I can have it resent if I don't get it. That doesn't matter for right now. We're going to honor someone, and we're going to get on out of here. Alright, and then we get a couple of challenges done, and we get our damages, which we did pretty good considering we were relatively passive. We were mostly just looking to create an advantage, not pub stomp. Alright, well, that'll be it for this video. I appreciate you guys coming by, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.